Hello guys, and welcome to this little tutorial for Civilization 5. This is Jackson from the Tech Cousins, and I'm going to show you how to gain a huge boost of your civilization, and it is basically through growth. And what I mean by growth is actually citizen growth, and that is actually one of the things I've always used for winning most of my battles, and it actually works quite well. So actually the first thing you want to do is actually to get a monument that gives you more culture. Afterwards you're going to try to get the oracle, basically because it gives you an extra policy, social policy, and these social policies is actually quite crucial to this kind of strategy to win the game. Actually you'll have to use the tradition tree, mainly because it gives you the most growth in the beginning as your capital is growing, and in the beginning you actually don't need a lot of cities, so don't mind if you are lacking a couple of cities. For instance, you could easily win with 2-3 cities, maybe nothing more actually, because you are not actually in need of those, just as long as those cities have a large amount of citizens. That is actually what is the crucial thing of this strategy. So why, you ask, why even go for a large amount of citizens? They give a lot of unhappiness and such. But you have to keep in mind that citizens actually equals production, science, and also culture. So if you are going to win in any of these ways, I mean with science or culture, this is actually one of the easiest things to do with this method. So actually the thing you actually want to do with this is basically to gain the highest amount of citizens in your capital as fast as possible. And remember, if you're going for a culture winning, culture victory, you will probably choose to only have, well, besides your capital, two cities, or 3 if you want a little larger, because the more cities you have, the more culture it requires for you to have any of these social policies. So it is actually very useful only to have a few of those cities. As for instance, I'm only using 1 city at this point, and actually I'm doing quite well, and that is mainly because my capital is actually growing quite fast, and I don't need all those extra cities. Of course they can give more culture and science at some point, but you actually don't have to care about that right now, because a large capital is actually the best thing to have at the beginning. Mainly also because you don't have as many units to defend all your cities. So if you have a lot of cities but a few units, you will probably get attacked quite easily, and you will lose one of your cities, and then you have actually wasted a lot of variable time. So while waiting for your army to grow faster, or to grow in a bigger amount, you should just keep your capital your main city for now, and focus on growing that one first. So as you can see, I've already got to the tradition, and now you're actually free to do whatever you want. I personally go for the honor tree, I guess. Not actually because it gains any beneficial to my civilization with growth, but because it actually gives me the ability to defend my cities far better, because you're not going to attack anyone in this kind of method to win the game. You're basically just going to stay at your civilization and try to be happy, and of course stay with good relationships to all your equivalents in for instance all the other civilizations. And that is actually one of the main things you have to do. Another thing that is actually quite useful is to use or spend your money not on buildings and units, but on expanding your borders. So why am I doing this? Well, first off, it is actually the fastest way to gain growth, because now your workers have the ability to use more tiles. And also, when you have a large amount of citizens in your city, you actually need a lot of those tiles, because the more you have, the more workers or the most citizens can be occupied in a tile, and that actually gives you quite a huge benefit. So that is actually one of the first things you had to do when you had a lot of those of gold, I mean. And of course, you have to have the hanging garden as fast as possible, mainly because it gives you a huge amount of food, and that gives you a huge benefit at this point. And as you could see there, I actually got asked about a relationship, or friendship at least, with another civilization, and I always say yes, at least if they are on the strong side of the civilizations. I mean, if you are against the weak one, is always the strongest, and if you don't work with the strongest, you'll actually have a problem. So always take the strongest, because they are usually the best way to do it, because they are going to defend you if you are to be attacked by the other civilization. So that is actually one of the things you have to remember whenever you choose to say yes to any of these. And also remember to try and get your city to have that We Love the King Day. So for instance, I need that resource. So for instance, I can go to Vienna, trade.
Grüß Gott.
She doesn't have anything, and then go to China. Neither. So actually nothing quite there. Another thing there that is actually also quite neat to have is to have a lot of happiness, because it actually gives you faster the golden ages, and golden ages is also one of the things we want, because they give a huge boost both in production, science, and in gold. So that is also a thing you have to do. So luxury resources is actually also quite vital to this way of winning. But as you can see, my city has grown quite large already. But one thing I actually haven't got is my religion. And of course, you can also always ask, why even go for religion? It's not really that good. But to be honest with you, it is. At least with this kind of method to win. Because the religion actually gives you two kind of extra boosts. Both as I told you, you need happiness, and you're going to choose a, should we call it policy, religion policy, that actually gives you that extra happiness. And as soon as I get the is it possible to get that great profit when I'm going to get it at 15? That is a long way to go. Never mind. When I get that, or at least when I have when I can get my first of those religious thingy, you know. You're going to choose what gives more growth, and I'm going to show you. Just wait a second, I'll just fast forward this one. Alright, here we go. I got the Pantheon. So you actually want to choose this one, so you get 10% faster growth rate. And yeah, that actually makes your city growth faster, and that is what we are going to do. And I have actually set it to production focus, because I actually want one of those wonders quite fast, so I actually choose to do so. But default focus is basically the best way to do this. So on we go. Probably at this point you should think about getting another city, But I think I'll wait just a turn to get that Petra, because it actually gives extra food from all these desert tiles. Ah, god damn it. No. Well, it would be nice to have that one, but never mind. I'm just going to have a new settler and go and try to see if that gives any benefits. And I think it does, but yeah, you know, it's not actually a huge benefit to my capital, but it's alright to do so. So the thing you actually want to do is to place them at the water, so you get the ability to make a fleet. What do we want? The Great Wall. Yeah, I think that one was going to do it. Alright guys, I don't think I'm going to show you much more of this, to be honest. Mainly because there's actually not much more to it. Basically, the religion is just going to focus on whatever growth is possible and just select it. And yeah, I actually think this covers the most of it. Just focus on all that gives food and get a fast worker, get it as fast as possible, and extend your borders as fast as possible. Get any wonders that gives additional food, and of course try to have a lot of cities, or all those cities you're going to create and settle is going to be at the water, as many as possible. That will give a food bonus, because you're actually going to have quite a benefit from lighthouses. So yeah, I suppose that pretty much covers what I wanted to tell you about my method of winning a fast game of Civilization 5. So yeah, thank you for watching this little untraditional kind of video. I wasn't actually intended to do. I didn't actually intended to do this, to be honest. Actually, it was meant to be a mod review, but there was some problems with Steam, so I wasn't actually able to get any of the mods I wanted. So I just came up with this little fun video. I guess it's not that funny, but I hope you can use it for something, to give a ass kicking for some of your friends, hopefully. Nah. Well, yeah. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel. It will mean so much if you did. And of course, have a nice day.